Today we're going to look at order of operations in Module 1, Lesson 5. We're going to start with addition and subtraction, which there are a lot of misconceptions about because most students have learned, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And so they see A first and they go, oh, we always do addition first and then subtraction. Not true. So parentheses are first, which we'll deal with later in this packet. E stands for exponents, but you'll learn in Math 1-2 when you get there that all radicals can be written as exponents as well. For instance, square root of 9 can be written as 9 to the 1/2. So it is considered an exponent as well. Level 3 is both multiplication and division, and the reason I put that arrow underneath, and we're going to formally write this down on another page, but I just wanted to explain it to you before we started. Multiplication and division are done left to right, which means multiplication does not come before division. You do whichever one comes first, going left to right. And the fourth level and last is addition subtraction. Again, addition does not come before subtraction. You do them left to right. And they want us to do it the right way and the wrong way on this. I am not going to do problems with you the wrong way. So that's why I've crossed out these two here. But I do want you to see doing it the wrong way does give you the wrong answer. So this says do addition and subtraction left to right. So going left to right, I first hit subtraction. I turn that into 9. And then I bring down the plus 7, 9 plus 7, 16. And I will tell you what I see so much on tests is students will go 15 minus 13. Never. 15 minus 13. And that's what you get when you do it the incorrect way, where you add first and say 6 plus 7 is 13 and just bring the minus sign down. That is not correct, because addition and subtraction, you do whatever's first going left and right. Subtraction's first, that's why we do not add first. But look at the difference in answers, 16 compared to 2. So there is quite a difference when you do it the incorrect way. So same level, addition, subtraction, do them left to right. So here we have going left to right, subtraction first. So we do 12 minus 8, which is 4, and then we bring down the plus 3, and we can see that answers 7. Doing it the wrong way, you would have gotten 1. So like I said, I'm not going to show you the wrong way. That's ludicrous to show you the wrong way, because then students will be, oh, I can't remember which way she said. So just always remember, addition and subtraction go left to right. And on number 2, addition is first, so we would do it first because they're on the same level and going left to right. We encounter addition first. 10 minus 4 is 6. So since there are different results between the first and second, as we said, we need to establish a convention for which operations come first. So rule number 1, when we need to add or subtract 2 or more times in one problem, we will perform the operations as we read from left to right. And this only pertains to addition and subtraction. Okay, so addition and subtraction are done left to right. So that to me is definitely a highlightable moment there. When we add or subtract, perform the operations from left to right. So how about we do 3 and 4 together, and then you can turn off the video and try 5 on your own. And you will see there's going to be positive and negative, so you have to remember your rules. Same, add, different, subtract. So when you see this problem on your test, write that. Write on your paper just to remind you. Same, add, different, subtract. Keep the sign of the larger. and it's of the larger absolute value, but we won't write that because we know what we're talking about here. Keep sign of the larger. So for this first one, I guess I have it a little bit too big. I'm having to move the paper back and forth, so let me shrink it. There we go. Now we got it all on the same page. So we start with addition, because going left to right we see that first. So we do 12 minus 3 plus 6. So bring all the rest of the stuff back down. Step 1 is done. Then going left to right, I encounter subtraction. So that'll be 9 plus 6, 15. So left to right on all addition and subtraction. And you can see these are all addition and subtraction, so we're not worrying about parentheses or order of operations or anything like that. For number 4, we have 12 minus 5 is 7, plus 6 minus 2 plus 1. And I know it's tempting to want to go to the back and start adding those. Don't do it. You do the entire problem left to right, because all it consists of is addition and subtraction. So next we have addition, so that'll be 13 minus 2 plus 1, and then going left to right, the subtraction, 11 plus 1, for a final answer of 12. So super easy, as long as you remember left to right when it's only addition and subtraction. Okay, so turn off your video, work on number 10. Remember, just 2 numbers at a time, going left to right, and then turn it back on and we'll compare answers. Okay, so left to right, I hit this addition first. I see the signs are different. One's positive, one's negative. Different is subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. Keep the sign of the larger. 10 doesn't have a sign, so that means it's the it's positive, so keep that too. And then bring down the rest of the problem, minus 2, minus 1, plus 6. And then going left to right, 2 minus 2. We learned in a previous section that when you add or subtract opposites, you get 0. If I have $2 and I go out and spend $2, I'm at 0. So now we have 0 minus 1 plus 6. So if I have if I have $0 in my bank account and I go out and spend $1 with my debit card, my new account balance is now -1. And -1 plus 6 will then be our last line. So again, we look at the signs. 1 negative, 1 positive. When the signs are different, we subtract. 6 minus 1 is 5. Keep the sign of the larger, plus. So that is positive 5. So how did you guys do? Remember the addition and subtraction rules from a couple sections ago? That's why it's always great to do a data dump. Minute you get to something, write down the rules, and then if you start getting confused mid-problem, boom, you have the rules right there to look at. Okay, let's see what's on the next page. So solve the following problems and write the corresponding equation. Then compare and contrast the problems in each set as indicated. So Sheldon had $5 and earned 7 more organizing a closet. How much does he have altogether? So it says write the math equation and the answer. So he had 5 and he earned 7 more. Earned means plus. So now he has a total of $12. On the next one, Leonard had $7 and he earned 5 more solving math problems. Ooh, what a good way to make money. I'd like that. So 7 earned means plus, 5 is 12. So what they're trying to show you here are the properties. Does order matter? So what can you deduce from addition? 5 plus 7, 12. 7 plus 5, 12. Order does not matter. So in addition, and there will be questions about properties on your test, so we're going to start naming properties. In addition, order does not matter. You can put it in either order and you get the same answer. And I think we talked about this earlier in another video, but when order doesn't matter, that's called commutative. Commutative property of addition. And how I remember the names is I see that word commute there, or the root word commute, and I think of commuting. I go home to school, school to home. So switching the order is commuting, just like you do home to school, school to home, or home to your job, job to home. So you switch the order, you drive the same distance. And that is called commuting, or the commutative property of addition. Okay, next one's yours. So go ahead and shut off the video, work it out, and then turn it back on and we'll compare answers. Okay, the temperature in Minnesota was 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Talk, Kim. Fahrenheit. It dropped means minus 5 degrees after sunset. So this would be 8 minus 5. And after sunset, the temperature was 3 degrees Fahrenheit. Because 8 minus 5 is 3. A positive and a negative, they tell me to subtract and keep the sign of the larger positive. For the next one, the temperature in Alaska was 5 degrees and it dropped, which means minus 8. Well, now we have a positive and a negative again. Positive 5, negative 8. When the signs are different, we wrote the rules on the last page. Same, add, different, subtract. So 8 minus 5 is 3, and keep the sign of the larger. So the larger is negative. And remember, if you're not sure, do money. If you have $5 and you go out and spend 8 on your debit card, your new balance is now negative 3. So on these, when I switched the order, I got different answers. So that means subtraction is not commutative. So we would say in subtraction, order matters. And that means subtraction is not commutative. Whoops. Subtraction is not commutative. And you can probably think of the other operation that is, where order doesn't matter. 4 times 3, 12. 3 times 4, 12. So addition and multiplication are the two that order doesn't matter. Subtraction and division, order matters. You will not get the same answer if you switch the order in subtraction or division. Okay, next page. So fill in the blanks. When you add two numbers and reverse the order, we saw that the answers are, sum, remember, is the answer to an addition problem. The sums are the same. On the last page, we got $12 for both of them. 5 plus 7, 7 plus 5. But we found when you subtract two numbers and reverse the order, the differences are not the same. I used to write different, but the differences are different. That just sounds kind of weird. So I just say not the same, which means subtraction is not commutative, but addition is. Because we got, what was it, positive 3 for one, negative 3 for the other. So we see that switching the order means they are different. Okay, let me get my paper clip installed. So Raj recorded his weekly expenditures and deposits in a notebook. He wrote down the following expressions to represent his current balance. Rewrite Raj's expression using only addition. And there is a question on your test. I can't remember if it's on your quiz, but I know it's on your test that says rewrite each. And this is where we have to do what we did back in, I want to say it was section 1.2. Add the opposite. Every time you see subtraction, add the opposite, and that turns it into addition. So add the opposite, add the opposite, add the opposite. Already addition, so it's good to go. Add the opposite, add the opposite. Already addition, good to go. Add the opposite, add the opposite. Already addition. So we've turned it into only addition. And what's the most common wrong answer on the test? To just go through and turn all the subtraction into addition. I'm like, no. You can't just turn subtraction into addition. You have to make the number following it negative when you do that. So you can't just change one sign. You have to change them both. So to rewrite it, it would look like 1230 plus negative 50 plus negative 20 plus negative 8 plus 120 plus negative 72 plus negative 160 plus 340 plus negative 90 plus negative 670 plus 440. And then that way we can easily see which are positive, which are negative, because they're going to show us a fast way to do this, because most students would just jump in and start going 1230 minus 50, 1180 minus 20, but there's a much faster way to do that. So the faster way, well, actually, I think they want us to do it the slow way first. So first two, we would get 1230 minus 50, which is 0, 13. Whoops. Off the page, Norris. I guess I'm too big again. I don't know why it keeps getting bigger. Sorry. Maybe one more. Okay, there we go. Now I think I'm good. Make that 13, borrow 1, so it's 11. 13 minus 5 is 8. So then we get 1180. And so these two are done. And we're going left to right, remember. So now it's 1180 minus 20, 0, 6, 1160. So that one's done. And then minus 8. 60 minus 8 is 52, or you can do your borrowing. 10, 6, make it a 5, so that'd be 1152. So that one's done. Then we're adding 120 next. And you will see that this is very tedious and slow if you haven't already seen that. But like I said, we're going to learn a much faster way on the next set. So 2, and this is addition, so I always make sure and write my operation so I don't forget what I'm doing, because it's positive 1152 and positive 120. 7, 2, 1. So we're done with that one. So 1272. And then minus 72 would be 1200, because 72 minus 72 is 0. Okay, that one's done. Now we have 1200 minus 160. Looks like we're going to have to borrow again. So that leaves us with 0. And then 10 to make it 1, borrow. 10 minus 6 is 4, 1 minus 1 is 0, and 1. So that turns into 1040. Done with that one. 4 more to go. I think we're going to run out of space before we do it. So 1040 plus 340 plus 340 is 0, 8, 1380. Done. Now we need to subtract 90. So 1380 minus 90. Again, we have to borrow, make that 18 and borrow from the 3. So then we get 0. 18 minus 9 is 9. 2, 1. So now we have 1290. And we're subtracting 670. So 0, 2, 12 minus 6 is 6. So we're at 620, and last but not least, we're adding 440 to that. And of course, I have a hole right here in my paper to complicate matters. So plus 440. And I already did this one right, yep. And we get 0. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. So the ending balance is $1,060 after all of our expenditures and our deposits. And remember, expenditures are negatives, deposits are positive. Because I do know there's one like this on the test. Not this long, but one like that. Okay, so now let's learn an easier way to do this. Ray decided to make a chart to see how much he spent in total and how much he deposited or already had in his account. Complete the chart below that represents this. Okay, so first we have the deposits and what he had in the account at the beginning. So he had $1230 in the account at the beginning. So this would be $1230 in the positives. And no, 120 in the positives. No, 340 in the positives. No, and 440. So we can add up all of his positives, his starting balance, and all of his deposits, and that gives me 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Carrier 1, and that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 it looks like. Carrier 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 2130 in the positive column. Then we add together all of his withdrawals. Do the same thing, except this time take the negative. So negative 50, negative 20, gone. Negative 8, negative 72, negative 8, negative 72, negative 160. And be careful to line everything up nice so that it will make it easy to add. and negative 90 and negative 670. And so now we need to add, and students will go, whoa, wait a minute, why are you adding? Those are all negative. Well, remember the rule we wrote over here? When the signs are the same, add, and they're all the same. And we keep the sign of the larger, which when we add negatives, the sign of the larger is obviously negative, right? So we can bring that down here. So we know the sign of the larger is negative, they're all negative. And now we can add. So sign same, add, just like we did over there, but our answer will be negative. So 8, 9, 10, carry our 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 7 is 15, and 6 is 21, 30, 37. And whenever I have a really big ugly one like that, then I go up the stack and make sure I get the same answer. 16 and 6 is 22, plus 7 is 29, 30, 31, 32, plus 5 is 37. And 9, 10. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So find the difference. So now we're doing this, 2130 minus 1070. Because that's what difference means, subtract. So then we have 2130, and we know to subtract, right? Because this one's positive, this one's negative, and when the signs are different, we subtract and keep the sign of the larger. So 0 minus 0 is 0. Need to borrow here, make that 13, borrow from the 1 and make it 0. 13 minus 7 is 6. 0 minus 0 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. And our answer is 1060. Ding, 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 ding. We got the same answer no matter which way we did it. But I think you guys will all agree that adding all the positives and then adding all the negatives and then subtracting the 2 was much faster than all that work we did up there going down the line left to right. So that's a good option for when you have a large list of numbers, positives and negatives, to group them together with their same signs. So all the positives added, all the negatives added, and then you subtract the 2 answers because their signs are different. And like I said, doesn't matter which method you use, you can see here the answers are the same. Okay, so I promise you, you will not have that many numbers on your test. Promise, promise. And this one just says which answer was easier. We're just going to skip that page. So let's go over to student page D. I think we already decided which one was easier. Just want to make sure I haven't skipped a page yet. Okay, now we're going to turn to multiplication and division. And as I said earlier, well, let's go ahead and write it again. It never hurts to write it too many times. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And why do I put the lines under here? Because these are on the same level. All by itself, same level, do it left to right, same level, do it left to right. And this is another misconception I notice students come into my classes with. They think you always do multiplication first. That is false. Just like addition doesn't come before subtraction, you go left to right. Multiplication doesn't come before division, you must go left to right. And you can see I did these two both ways. So when I did it the correct way, going left to right, 120 divided by 10, the zeros cancel and you get 12. 12 times 3 is 36. When you do it the wrong way and multiply first, you get 30. 120 divided by 30 is 4. Look at the difference in the answers. Quite different. So that's why I'm not going to do that side. I want you to see that you do get different answers, but I only want to do it the right way. Multiplication and division are done left to right. So we have division first. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So we go left to right. We don't skip and do multiplication first. Had you done that, you would have gotten an answer of 2. The wrong answer. On this one, going left to right, a negative times a positive. When there's only one negative, that's an odd number, so the answer is negative. 16 times 4 is 64. So negative 64 divided by 4. Because we do this first, going left to right, since they're on the same level. A negative divided by a positive, there's one negative. So that is an odd number, negative. And remember how I said, always do your sign first, then you'll never miss it. And then 64 divided by 4. I think you guys probably already know, since 16 times 4 is 64, but it's good practice doing long division. 4 goes into 6 once. Draw the line, change the sign, subtract 24. 4 goes into 24 16 times. So that answer would be negative 16. Okay, so we're kind of out of time, but let's go ahead and do these 3, and then that way we'll end at the end of a page. So all I see is multiplication and division, multiplication and division. So that means all 3 of these problems are left to right. So first I have 24 here. 24 divided by negative 2 times 2. So a positive divided by a negative is negative, because there's only one negative sign. And cut 24 in half and you get 12. Then bring down your times 2. A negative divided by times a positive, there's one negative sign. So that makes a negative answer because it's an odd number of negatives. And we get 24. Okay, let's do one more together, and then you guys can try the last one. So going left to right, a negative divided by a positive, one negative, negative answer. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then going left to right, we next do multiplication. I guess I didn't show that here. There we go. Negative times a positive, one negative, negative answer, negative 25 divided by 5. Then we do division, one negative, negative answer, 25 divided by 5 is 5. Okay, go ahead and do that last one, and then we will compare answers. So shut off the video for a minute, do that one, and then we'll come back and start up after. So left to right, divisions first. So 6 divided by 2 times negative 3. Left to right, divisions first. 3 times negative 3. A positive times a negative, one negative sign is negative, and we get 9. So I hope you guys all got that right. Okay, see you on the next video.